This is Reverend Crystal, and welcome to Wedding Tip Wednesday, where you get tips to improve your business, content, and to have more fun as a wedding officiant, if that's even possible. This is the final installment of the 5-week challenge of beginning to build your wedding officiant business with the PPS Factor. And PPS stands for psychological, practical, and spiritual, because I believe that building your officiant business, or really doing anything in life, is a holistic thing, and it's not just one. It involves all three. So today is about getting out and getting booked. You'll see in the description that I have posted a summary of the previous 4 challenges. So check those out, and then I've got links to the different videos that go with those so that you can see the whole thing in case you want to, get up to speed or be reminded. But today I'm really going to talk about some things to do that I think will set you apart in actually introducing yourself to whichever wedding professionals it is that you are connecting with. And remember, connection is truly the name of the game. It's you being who you are. It's authentically and professionally presenting yourself to people so they know who you are. So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is to have a little packet together. Now, this is probably a no-brainer for you, but I just want to make sure that we're clear on what you want to have included in there. So you want to have a picture of yourself, then you want to have a review that someone has made of your services, or some kind of a recommendation. Even if you've never done a wedding before, you might not have a review. So you want to have something that will be, maybe from a former employer who talks about, how well you did work or whatever it might be. So you want to have some kind of a review. And upgrade to that is if you can share a picture of the couple who is actually reviewing you. And if you don't have a picture of them, a couple of lessons back, if you remember, I gave you a link to unsplash.com and pexel.com. And those are places where you can get bride, groom, same-sex couple photographs that you can place on there, because anything visual will really help to get someone's attention. Okay, so you want to have that together, and then you want to have a little bit about your services, what exactly it is that you will provide, and especially anything that is unique, or a unique approach that you have to your services. For instance, I appeal to animal lovers, and so I mention that in my promotions and how I introduce myself to people. One of the things that I think will also help you to stand out, and I'm also posting a link to a little video that I made a while back about providing a gift to the person that you're visiting. And it really shouldn't be anything extravagant, but it's just a little something that makes you stand out and helps them to remember who you are. And then the other thing that you're also including in this packet is like a card, if you have it, and also just an idea of the range of what your fees are. I mean, you don't have to say I charge $500 for this and $200 for that, but you could say my services are in a range of $200 to $1,000, or whatever it might be. Okay, so you want to give them a general idea, and the reason for that is that it also gives you some room to move depending on what kind of services you're going to be providing for your couples. Okay, so you've got your gift, but the other thing that I want to remind you to do and to encourage you to do is to do a little bit of research about the person that you're going to be connecting with, or the facility that you're going to be at. So when you're talking with them, when you're talking and connecting with this person, you can ask them about a special event that they had, or maybe they just expanded their facility, and so you can ask them, how was that process, or just something that shows that you took enough time and care enough to find out more about them. So just an example of that is yesterday I attended a conference for event professionals in the country, and they were having a kind of like a local Michigan conference in my area. So before I went, the site that hosted this is quite a big and fancy wedding venue, and just a lot of events. It's a great tourist attraction. A lot of people are there. But I did a little bit of research to see what had been happening, and noticed that they had just hosted an air balloon festival So I got the opportunity. I actually met the general manager of this whole place, and I mentioned that to them. I said, "Wow, really, those all the pictures of the balloons that were here, that was quite an event. How was it to manage that?" And was able to take some time finding out what his experience was like. And then he was starting to ask me about what I did, and so I was able to explain to him more about that I was a wedding officiant, and I was actually the only officiant that was at this event. He took my card, and he gave me the name of the coordinator for events there. So hopefully that will be a great connection, and I will be following up with him. So that's the other thing, is that after you have made your connection with these people, you want to do a follow-up, either postcard, email, or even just a really short call. You don't want to do anything that's going to take too much time, but you want to let them know that you're the one who's taking the initiative. You're following up. And then you also want to do this in about 6 months' time. So before I go, I want to not forget to finish that thought, but I want to backtrack just a little bit. Because the other thing is that when you visit the Facebook pages, or you went to the website of the people or the venue that you're going to be visiting, the DJ or whoever it is that you're introducing yourself to, you're going to get a sense of their style. And so you want to make sure that the way that you dress is not going to be in direct conflict with that tone. Now, if it's very important for you to present yourself as a casual, easygoing officiant, then that's fine. Just don't go looking like you just woke up and you haven't taken any, you know, you haven't cleaned yourself up at all. I mean, don't ever go sloppy. But if you're going to present yourself and this is a more formal place, then you want to go a little bit more formally dressed, and then you can work everything out later. But when you first introduce yourself, play the part, look the part, as long as it's really, I'm not suggesting that you go against what your values are, and I'm not trying to get you to adhere to any kind of a dress code, but I'm just saying be mindful of the tone that is being set by the place that you're interested in getting referred to. Okay, so then to finish that point about following up with the people that you've connected with, is that you want to do this on a regular basis. You want to follow up with them, and I usually revisit any of those venues every year after the majority of my weddings are done, when I really have time. And sometimes it's every other year. But it's really important to continue to find out who are the people that you need to connect with at those venues. Because if you haven't noticed, people come and go in the wedding business, just like in anything, but they really come and go, particularly if there's a lot of turnover in photographers. So case in point is, a couple of weeks ago, I did a wedding, and on the way back, I passed by a venue that I haven't visited very often, and I had a gift in my car, and I had my card with me. I always carry my card. Now, granted, I did not call ahead of time, but I went into the venue to find out who the wedding coordinator was, the event coordinator. So as I walked into the building, there was a woman sitting over a table. She said hello, and I said hi, and I said, do you know who the event coordinator is? And she says, yes, my name is Laura, and I am the coordinator. So I ended up talking with her about who I was, that I had been there and done weddings in the past, but I hadn't heard from them for a while, and found out from her that she was the new event coordinator, and the other person was no longer there. So I gave her my card and explained a little bit about what I did and who I appealed to and that kind of thing. And I told her I always donate to an animal rescue organization, and because that's one of the unique things that I do. And she took my card. I ended up buying a bottle of wine, which is another gift that I gave to that wedding venue. But I made a nice connection with her, so I'm going to be following up with her and thanking her for connecting with me. Now, the other thing that I want to make sure that you do is that you want to make sure that you get the contact information from the people that you're connecting with, so that you can put them in your database. You can have them available, or you have a file that you keep of all of the venue coordinators, all of the photographers, whatever kind of system that you want to set up, so that when you reconnect with them, you're all set to go. Okay? So those are the things that that will, when you connect authentically with someone and you're prepared, you're interested in them, and you're knowledgeable about everything that you offer, you will make an impression on the people that you're connecting with, and you will get booked. Okay, so that's the end of the challenge for building your wedding business through the PPS Factor. Now, the other announcement that I want to make is that for January, I am going to be starting a group coaching program, and it is going to take place once a week for 6 weeks, and it will take place on Zoom, and then you will also have a recording that you can review whatever it is that we have talked about. So the coaching program I'm going to talk about websites, I'm going to talk about Facebook pages, I'm going to talk more about presenting yourself and how to promote and market your services, how to really get out there and get known. We're going to talk about content, and certainly I'm going to answer any questions that you might have, because I know one of the things that in any course that I have taken online, it has always been such a help when I had somebody who I could really talk to one-on-one, and I could hear other people's questions and hear what other people were going through, to really help me to up my game, to really increase my professional factor that I use in my business. And it's just been wonderful. And so I want to provide that to you, because I think I've got lots of ideas. It's much easier for me to help you if I know exactly what your situation is, and then we can work in that way. So I'm going to be posting a form where you can get on the waiting list for that, and I will let you know what the cost is, and how to register and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about that, because I think I'll do a lot better not better. I will let you know about that, because coaching is something that I really am interested in. I love working one-on-one with people and helping people directly. So that's the big news. Now, the Ready, Willing, and Able Officiant Prep course will always be available, and I hope that if you haven't taken a look at it, that you will, because it is the kind of thing that will get you up to speed, get you up to a professional speed. If you are a new wedding officiant. I had conversations with wedding planners again at this conference that I'm telling you about, and again they keep telling me that a brand new officiant who doesn't have any kind of training, they have to really stay close, because they don't really know what they're doing. And one of the things that I go over in the Ready, Willing, and Able Officiant Prep program is that there are videos that lead you from the beginning to the end of a ceremony. There are checklists that will help you keep organized and present yourself as knowledgeable and on top of things, to not only your clients, but the people that you work with. And there's just so much content on there for you improving and putting together a ceremony that you're going to love, and that you can adapt to different people and different couples. So I highly encourage you to check that out. I will post a link to that as well. So anyway, there we have it, Wedding Tip Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock with another wedding tip, and I will, stay active in the group, and then you'll see what the topic is next week. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, and I wish you the very best. This is such a great profession, and yeah, thank you for joining me. Okay, so goodbye for now.